The moment of the truest of the true has now just arrived. Good afternoon, poverty warriors. This is your pre-Zoom boarding announcement. Welcome on board flight second iPOVCON 2020 with service from poverty alleviation to social development. We are currently on the third day and the closing destination of this flight. Please fasten your seatbelt and have your internet ready and backup gadget. In case of erratic internet connection, please don't panic. Change location with grace and posture, but maintain precautions. With the captains and officers of the flight, the Samar State University, Northwest Samar State University, Biliran Province State University, Eastern Samar State University, Eastern Visayas State University, Leyte Normal University, Palumpon Institute of Technology, St. Paul School of Professional Studies, Southern Leyte State University, University of Eastern Philippines, and Visayas State University. We ask you to please direct your attention to your monitor. Turn off notifications. Those little pings are distractions to other meeting passengers. Turn on the lights. If you can get proper lighting, sit near a window or have a bright lamp nearby. Keep the windows stowed though for proper ventilation. Look at the camera when talking. I know it's a bit awkward at first, but your fellow passengers here at Zoom will appreciate eye contact. Mute your mic if you are not talking. Clear the space behind you. See if you can move your camera so it is directed to a wall or a clear spot for those who have technical challenge in using the Zoom virtual background. Please come early. If someone is late, the airplane won't halt on air. Kidding aside, there's no need to recap. And please keep it professional. Maintain professional posture and presence. Please stay present as well. You might miss on key information. If you are using your webcam, use attentive body language and give some grace. Be patient with other passengers and allow some grace for miscommunications to occur. We also remind you to please code your name by your honorific, your first name, dash, and affiliation. For example, Miss Hannah, dash, SSU. Stay awake throughout the duration of the flight for you to surely miss not the chance of your life to listen to our speaker on board. Thank you for choosing second iPOVCON 2020. Enjoy your flight and prepare for takeoff with the Executive Director for Research of Samar State University to present the afternoon's keynote speaker.
The University President of Samar State University, Dr. Marilyn D. Cardoso, other university presidents and key officials, honored guests, participants from the different agencies of the country, ladies and gentlemen. Our keynote speaker this afternoon is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in English at Cont University, Vietnam. Not contented with his education, he pursued Master in Applied Linguistics, specializing language testing and program evaluation at Melbourne University, Australia. In his desire to be more competent in his area of specialization, he took up Doctor of Philosophy in English, Language Assessment and Assessment Literacy at the University of New South Wales, Australia. Our speaker has rose from ranks and has held several positions before his current position. among others, as lecturer at the Department of Foreign Languages, Trevin Community College, lecturer at the Department of Foreign Languages, Trevin University, head of English Department, Trevin University. He has also been the director of the Center for International Education Development, taking charge of running English classes. He was also responsible of reviewing and updating curriculum of all English language courses offered by the center. He is also tasked in providing consultation services to language learners so they can choose an appropriate course to suit their need. And he was responsible in collaborating with international partners to carry out transnational programs and exchange programs. This last function, collaborating with international partners to carry out transnational programs and exchange programs, has moved our keynote speaker and the key officials of Trevin University to organize the first VietPhil, Vietnam-Philippines Conference last December 2020. This conference was in collaboration with some state universities and colleges of Region 8. Ladies and gentlemen, sa kasagsagan po ng bagyo last December, 4 SSU University officials and 2 students dared the typhoon to participate the conference and to forge memorandum of agreement with his university. This man is a man of vision. Gentle ladies and men, it is my pleasure to present to you this afternoon the Deputy Director of Institute for Resources Development, Trevin University, Vietnam, Dr. D. Van Phung.
Thank you very much for your very nice introduction. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Dr. D.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Mabuhay. Xin chào. First, let me introduce myself again. I think it's unnecessary now because you have gave a very deep and polished introduction about myself. Even I'm enjoying being introduced that way. So it's my pleasure to be invited to give a talk during the second international conference in poverty reduction and sustainable development, hosted by SSU and partnered with many other universities in the Philippines. Right. Yeah, I will be talking about the topic, a crisis, and I take it Vietnam is an example of a crisis management and response. And my talk will be about 25 minutes. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share with me at the end of my talk. Thank you. Can I start now?
Yes, please, Dr. D, you may. Thank you.
Thank you very much. PowerPoint. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, this is my honor to be invited to give a talk at the second international conference on poverty alleviation and sustainable development. I would like to take this special opportunity to express my gratitude to the presidency of SSU for inviting me, all right, to give a talk during the conference, and personally to Dr. Elmer for his time and support during my preparation for my today's speech. So during my talk, I will be covering about crisis, and I will use Vietnam as a success story in managing and responding to the world critical crisis that COVID-19. You know, at first when I was invited and I didn't know what to talk about, and then Dr. Elmer suggested, and about the topic, just give information about what we have done so far during the pandemic. And at first I was afraid my talk could be beyond the conference theme. But whenever crisis like COVID-19 happened, the poor, the unemployment, and other vulnerable groups are most seriously affected. So successful management and response to the crisis means support has been provided to lift people from poverty and difficulty. So there are many definitions of crisis, but the definition by Wake, 1988, shed light on many others. The key characteristics in defining a crisis are that it represents a threat to the organization's survival. It contains elements of surprise. It transpires within a relatively short period of time, and of course causes significant damage to the firm, the organization, or even the country. And how many stages are there in a crisis? Basically, there are many ways of identifying the stages of the crisis, but the one I'm going to talk about, I use the one of Jonathan Boston. So there are basically 5 stages of the crisis. In the very first stage, that's a denial. Thinking like, oh, the problem isn't that bad. It can't be, because bad things don't happen here to us. The thinking usually goes like this. A denial in the face of the disaster is human. So COVID-19 is an example. Authorities at first didn't think that the disease was their problems. It's just something like an internal problem of China or Asia. In the second stage, which is called containment. Containment plays out in one or two forms, either trying to keep the matter quiet or buck passing. Keeping the matter quiet is useless, as problems, especially the messy ones, always get out. Bucky passing is where people, including the perfectly capable leaders, try to make the problem disappear by giving it to someone else to solve. So I think the pandemic would not have happened if the truth about it had not been concealed at very first place, at very first stage. Stage number 3 was shame mongering. The shame mongering. All parties with a stake in the problem enter into a dance of self-defense. So assigning blame, claiming credit. And so that's why the term, I think, China virus is not new to many in this virtual room. But there must be someone to blame. It's a case of the President of the United Nations. And the fourth stage is called resolution. Okay, so this stage of the crisis is a resolution phase. So during this stage, crisis team members should communicate on clear alerts to impacted and audiences and return to the normalcy. Additionally, our resolution stage messages should address the evolution of the crisis. evolution of the crisis. Such as the details about the change of the status in the management to the resolution and the process of transition. The process of transition to recovery, all right, it is underway. During resolution, the information about the anticipated recovery steps and how to obtain additional resources and information all are expected. Once the disease fasts and critically spread throughout North America, Europe, and Western Asia, authorities were asked to publicize all information about the coronavirus and its severe consequences. Communication had to be clear and transparent. So, do you think it's too late? So, in the last stage, it's called, okay, in the last stage, I would call the crisis get fixed. Despite the devastation of the disaster, life has to go on. Yeah, usually for the better. History has shown that crisis almost always gives way to something better. Of course, after that, a crisis primarily serves to show where the system is weak. A stage 5 is great, and then the affected, all right, they begin working together to prevent the crisis from ever happening again, and often with the great success. So now I'm going to talk about crisis management. Crisis management is a situation-based management system that includes clear roles, all right, the clear roles and responsibilities and the process related to organizational requirements, that is nationwide or the institution-wide. The response shall include the action, all right, shall include the action in the following areas like crisis prevention, crisis assessment, crisis handling, and crisis termination, right? So the aim of the crisis management is to be well prepared for crisis, to ensure a rapid and adequate response to the crisis, maintaining the clear lines of reporting and communication in the event of crisis, and agreeing rules for the crisis termination. So it is very important to develop a situation-based management system that includes the clear roles of responsibility and the process related to the institutional in our national requirements, right? The response shall include action in following cases, as I said before, right? So prevention, assessment, handling, and termination. So in crisis need to be proactive in planning the response to the crisis. All right. So it is strongly recommended that an organization develops a strategic response as rapidly as possible to prevent losses. So that's what I will be talking about. The way that I use Vietnam is K is a story to to fight against the crisis that COVID-19. And there, how many types of crises are there? So Jonathan Baston identifies 3 types of crisis. The first one they call creeping crisis. So that's foreshadowed by the series of events that decision makers don't view as part of the pattern. And then the second one is called slow burn crisis. So like some advance warning before the situation has caused any actual damage. And the last one, sudden crisis. Damage has already occurred and will get worse the longer it takes to respond, right? Another one, another identification by James Wooten and Boin, 2009, actually. So not all crises are the same. So there are 3 basics classes of crisis. The first one, smoldering crisis. Smoldering crisis And then the acute crisis, the transboundary crisis. Although sometimes we think of crises as occurring very quickly, a crisis can also be enacted very slowly. Smaller crises are those events that start out as small, just internal problems within a company, and become public at some point. And over time, it escalates as a result of inattention by management. So acute crisis provide a few warning signals why an organization can develop risk and crisis plans to try to mitigate the damage done by the acute crisis, such as a direct hit by a hurricane. There is nothing an organization can do to avoid a crisis from occurring. And the last one we call transboundary crises. So transboundary crises last longer, often affect other sectors of the economy and functions in the organization are changing continuously. The financial crisis of 2008, for example. So it was a transboundary crisis. And so it affected a large number of the countries and rapidly crossing the international boundaries and bring down the financial structure of diverse nations. And most recently, the pandemic, the COVID-19 is a transboundary crisis. So to illustrate the perspective of crisis management, I would like to talk about Vietnam as an emerging success story of COVID-19. All right. And personally, I think this is a strong case of successful crisis management, which have protecting the poor, the vulnerable, and the minority during and after the epidemic. So between 1990 and 2015, life expectancy rose from 71 to 75 years, and the infant mortality rate fell from 36.9 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1990 to only 16.5 deaths in 2018. And the maternal mortality ratio plummeted from 139 deaths per 100,000 live births to only 54 deaths. All right, the 2018 immunization rate for the measles in children ages between 12 and 23 months is over 97%. So Vietnam has a history of successfully managing pandemics. It was the first country in 2003, all right, recognized by the World Health Organization to be a SARS-free country. And many interventions Vietnam pioneered during the SARS epidemic are being used to respond to COVID-19. And similarly, its experience with the epidemic preparedness and response measures may have led to greater willingness among people in the country to comply with the central public health response. And in fact, a survey conducted in late March by the public opinion research firm found that 62% of people in Vietnam believe the level of response, but the government was just right amount. Yeah, with just right amount. And ranking higher than any other 45 countries which were surveyed. All right. So in the wake of the SARS epidemic, Vietnam increased investment in its public health infrastructure, including developing a national public health emergency operations center, a national public health surveillance system. And Vietnam, this is the very updated features about COVID-19, right? Also, Vietnam's first case of COVID-19 was reported on the 23rd of January 2020. The patients were a man from Wuhan, China, and his son who were based in Vietnam. And the third patient and the first Vietnamese citizen was 25 years old woman who had traveled to Wuhan on business and returned on the 17th January 2020. Right, that's the very first patients of COVID. And the second wave of cases was discovered on March the 6th. These cases were imported from new hotspots, including Europe, the UK, the US. And by the day after the first case of the second wave was detected, the government had tracked and isolated about 200 people who had close contact, lived on the same street, or were on the same flight from London as the patients. All right, starting in early February 2020, publicly funded institutions in Vietnam developed at least 4 locally made COVID-19 tests that were validated by the Ministry of Defense and National Institute of Hygiene and Epidemiology. Subsequently, private companies such as VicR and Taiyuan offer capacity to manufacture the test kits. Mostly the laboratories had where the tests are analyzed, time, the molecule, and testing respiratory trace. Since trace the samples is primarily used, and the rabbit diagnostic tests that detect the host antibodies rarely been used. Okay, so very first test. Now, in early February 2020. So the test kit developed by Hanoi University of Science and Technology, and the methods. Okay. So and the methods of testing, it was using the RT lamp, okay, the reverse transcription loop mediated isothermal application, and it costs only $15, and the testing time was 70 minutes, right? And the second one, on March the 3rd, 2020, the test kit developed by Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology, and using the test method using real-time RT-PCR, and it's cost less than $21, and the testing time 80 minutes from receiving the sample, right? And then finally, not finally actually, on March the 5th, 2020, the test kits developed by the Military Medical University and commercialized by VicR costs between $19 to $25 using RT-PCR and the real-time RT-PCR. The testing time just over 1 hour, quicker than the kits, the two-step, all right? But the testing capacity 4 times the number of the samples as a CDC kit, and the VicR test has been certified by the European Union and other authorities, is now being exported to other countries. Although, all right, the World Health Organization certification is still pending as of May 2020. And the testing capacity also ramped up quickly. Just 2 testing sites nationwide in late January, right, to 120 by May the same year. All right. As of May, 63 sites were able to confirm testing. Given its low case numbers, the country decided on a strategy of using testing to identify clusters and prevent wider transmission. When the community transmission was detected, the government reacted quickly with contact tracing, commune-level lockdowns first, widespread local testing to ensure no cases were missed. This helps explain why Vietnam has performed more tests per confirmed case than any other countries in the world. All right, by a long shot, and even though testing per the capita remains relatively low. Now, testing is used as a tool for detection in contact tracing. Contact tracing and quarantine are the key parts of containment. Vietnam's contact tracing strategy stands out as uniquely comprehensive. It's based on a tracing decrease of contact from F0, so the infected person, to F1, those who had close contact with F0 and are suspected of being infected, and then F2, and on the way up to F5. Yep, on the one up to F5. So in a very small window in which to track the quarantine contacts before they become infectious, the incubation period between the contact with the virus and the start of the symptom is on average 5 days. So the infectiousness begins 2 days before the symptoms. Therefore, there is a period only 3 days from the point of contact with the case to find out and to quarantine the contacts before they could potentially infect the others. So it's crucial to move fast, mobilize the contact tracing apparatus, and to locate the contact. So once the patient of COVID-19 is identified, I mean F0, the local public health officials with the support from the health professional, security officers and military, other civil servants work with the patient to identify who they might have been in contact with and infected, all right, in the past 14 days, all right. And on the close contact F1 define is the people who have been within approximately 2 meters or have the prolonged contact of 30 or more minutes with a confirmed COVID-19 case. So identified by this process and tested for the virus. So from January the 23rd to May the 1st, over 200,000 people spend time in a quarantine. So those in the government-run quarantine centers are provided with 3 meals a day, sleeping facilities, basic toiletries, reactions, and the reactions to the conditions in the quarantine centers on social media have been generally positive. Though it's not popular, on-demand quarantine facilities were also established in selected hotels for those who are willing to pay, right? And for the stay rent or quarantine facilities are free for the people, right? All right, so quarantine. In preparation for COVID-19 pandemic, Vietnam further strengthened the hospital procedure to prevent infection in healthcare settings. So on the 19th February 2020, the Ministry of Health issued a national guidelines for infection prevention and control for COVID-19, acute or respiratory disease, and healthcare establishment. So this document provides comprehensive guidance to hospitals on screening, admission, isolation of confirmed suspected COVID-19 cases, establishment of isolation areas in hospitals, and on necessary procedures and measures in response to COVID-19. Oh, right. And so we do have, COVID-19. And on March the Ministry of Health launched an app called nCoV. It's an app that helps citizens to put in place a neighborhood watch system. The complements officers' contact tracing efforts that may have helped to slow the transmission of the disease. Although the app has drawn a criticism from some privacy advocates. All right. And then in mid-April, Vietnamese cyber security firm, so BKAV, launched another app which is called Pluzon. It is a Bluetooth-enabled mobile application that notifies users if they have been within approximately 2 meters of the confirmed case within 14 days. When the users are notified, it's poser, and then they are encouraged to contact the public health officials immediately for further action. This is nCoV, and this one is Bluezone. You can look for more information about these two apps on the web. Right. So target lockdown. So Vietnam implemented mass quarantines in suspected hotspots based on evolving. All right. So etiological, right, evidence over time. Vietnam entered a national lockdown on the 1st April. And initially, the lockdown was set for 15 days, but then it extended to 21 days in 28 out of 63 provinces. You see, is it right? And this table presents information on target lockdowns. So the region, the day, and population affected, and the details. All right. So you see a long table, so I broke into two for your easier views. Right. So even before the first cases in Vietnam were confirmed, Vietnam took the very first of many steps to implement closures, limits mobility for citizens and international travelers. Most other countries waited to make these types of decisions until members were much higher. Right. So we have 14-day quarantine for people who from overseas, from infected areas. So we have a policy actually that decree to prohibit 30-person gatherings in public area. It's on the non-essential businesses, services have to be closed, and social distance is also applied. Right. While leaders in many countries downplay the threat of COVID-19, Vietnamese government communicated in clear and strong terms of the dangers of the illness, even before the first case was reported. You know, because it is a fact that we border with China. So, and you know, the chance to be infected is very high. So on January the 9th, the Ministry of Health first warned citizens of the threat. Since then, the government has communicated frequently with the public and added shock prevention statement to every phone call placed in the country, texting people directly, talking about the advantages of Vietnam's highest use of social media. You know, someone even say at that time the Ministry of Health was loved the person more than their dearly boyfriends or girlfriends, because every 2 or 3 hours they send a message to remind the phone user to protect themselves. All right. And then in late February, the National Institute of Occupation Safety and Health released nCoV. nCoV is jealous coronavirus. It's a song, meaning, all right, so this is the well-known pop song given new lyrics and turned into a hand-washing public service announcement. So you can search, you can Google for this song on the web. It's easily found. And Vietnam has passed a decree allowing authorities to furnish people who use social media to share false, untruthful, or distorted, or slanderous information about the epidemic. So, in attempt to stop, okay, so sorry, it's in 20. The battle against COVID-19 was not just for the government of Vietnam, but it's a battle for of the Vietnamese, on the Vietnamese. Okay, so in attempt to stop the pandemic from spreading, lockdowns, social distancing were applied to several countries and territories of the world. And these are what happened, reactions of people in some other countries in the world. It's in the US, right? I think you may have seen this photo, right? And this is in Vietnam. Sorry, it's in US too. It is in US, somewhere right in the US. Yeah, I think you may have known this story, right? It's a nurse broke in tears after her ship shopping for food to feed her family. And there was nothing left for her to buy. All right, but in Vietnam, soldiers, all right, worked for, all right, so effortlessly without sleeping to help people, the poor people, the laborers, and the one in quarantine areas. Sorry. And creativity is also spotted during the pandemic, in the response to the pandemic. So this is some photos about of the program. Okay, so trading garbage, of course, about recycle garbage for face masks or sanitizers. This is a public support. So we have donors from different sectors. All right, we got together. We mobilize on resources from the public. All right, and to support the one in the infected areas. And this is the support. The last photo showed the support from outside the quarantine center. At some point, the number of people outside the center was much higher than the one inside, because people from the local or from the families, relatives, they come to bring the necessities, food, to help the officers, also to help the infected people in the center. And we also have rice ATM and free supermarket. Is it free? Owns are free. Owns are free. So rice was contributed by people, could be salesperson, people from all sectors of the society. I see the right. This is zero. This is free supermarket. People who were in need for food or some necessity to come and grab one. And this is some photos showing students in dormitory. They lent accommodation to the quarantine, because at that time we were in need of facilities for quarantine, because the number of people coming back from overseas was higher and higher. So we need facilities, and volunteers, students, they just decided to move out to made rooms for the quarantine people. And even kids, school children, they gave whatever they save to help the people in the infected area or to help the patients. Right. And okay, and on top of that, on treatment for COVID-19 are sponsored by the Vietnamese government. Okay, so certain aspect of Vietnam response to COVID-19 may not be replicable in other countries. So its experience in the past epidemics encourages citizens to take significant steps to slow the spread of the virus. Because Vietnam features a one-party government with a chain of command reaching from the national level to the village level. So it's particularly suited to mobilize resources. Implementing so the public health strategies and ensuring consistent messages while enforcing regulation stringently. All right. So we have a lot of lessons from our case. So the very first one, investment in public health infrastructure enables enables the country to have a head start in managing public health crisis effectively. And Vietnam learned the lessons from SARS, and other countries can learn those same lessons from COVID-19 later on. Right. Early action ranging from border closures to testing to lockdowns can stop community spread before it gets out of control. Through a careful contact tracing can help facilitate the targeted containment strategy. Quarantines based on possible exposure rather than based on the symptoms only can reduce a symptomatic or pre-symptomatic transmission. And more importantly, a clear communication is very crucial. Clear, consistent, serious narrative is important throughout the crisis. And on top of that, mask, social distance, quarantine, lockdown were not politicized. They were simply tools to measures to keep you and your loved ones safe. And for the case of Vietnam, I personally think this is a very valuable lesson. Right. Sorry, it's so small. A strong horn-up society approach engages multiple sectoral stakeholders in decision-making process and activate cohesive participation of appropriate measures. Right. And thank you very much. I have.
Thank you so much, Dr. D.
Yeah, I hope the information I just shared from my speech can be useful in some way. Because this is we had to deal with something similar in the past, and this time the experience helped us at the very first place to respond to the pandemic COVID-19 successfully at the first stage. Although very recently in August we was hit the third time by COVID-19 in the central Vietnam. You may heard about that. And then thanks to what we experienced in the very first stage, from January to March and then April until June, and then for the third wave of the pandemic, the people were very, people didn't panic. They were very calm and, in cooperation with the governments quite effectively. Yeah, thank you. I just stopped sharing.
Thank you so much, Dr. D. Helpful for us because that was a good, impressive. To see that so-called rice ATMs, that's very, very impressive. Thank you. Like to usher you kids. So Dr. D, honored to have you with us this afternoon.
Sorry,
see you in the next conferences for.
Yeah, see you in the next conference. Thank you very much. Thank you again for giving me a chance to share the information from Vietnam, the experience, and then hopefully such information is useful in our attempt to reduce poverty reduction and to fight against a crisis.
Yes, Dr. D, and it's the honor is ours. So please accept this certificate of recognition from Samar State University in partnership with Northwest Samar State University and the partner collaborators for your invaluable insights and expertise rendered as our keynote speaker this afternoon, Dr. D, signed by Dr. For University President and the host for the iPOVCON 2020, co-hosted by Northwest Samar State University, represented by their President, Dr. Benjamin L. Picayo. And we have with us Dr. D, the President of the host school, Dr. Marilyn Cardoso, to say thank you to you. Go ahead, Dr. Cardoso.
Thank you, Ms. Elma. Dr. D of Travin University, on behalf of Samar State University, our co-host, Northwest Samar State University, and our partner collaborators in Eastern Visayas, thank you for gracing our closing program. Come on, Ban. I am awed and inspired of the best practices of Vietnam to beat COVID-19. Your success story speaks of the Vietnamese resilience and tenacity. SSU would be very glad to learn more from you, from Travin University, and from Vietnam, in as much as we would like to develop the same level of resilience and the same level of tenacity. We hope to have more sessions with you, Dr. D. Thank you very much. And again, come on, Pan.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cardoso, and thank you, Dr. D. Hope to see you soon, sometime there.
Sure. Hopefully, we have a chance to meet again in such in similar events. Possibly, if we can talk and meet face to face.
Yes, similar time with no COVID, Dr. D. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on board Zoom meeting, we will be having the awarding of winners. Read to you back the process of how the winners were selected. For the most outstanding paper, the selection process International Conference on Poverty Alleviation and Sustainable Development were placed under 4 strands of the conference: human health, crisis and management, resources, technology, and products for crisis management, organization, preparedness, and response was electronic copies of the full papers submitted online to the official email address of the conference. Third, the full papers were blindly reviewed by the set of expert evaluators based on the four entries were short-listed the resulting qualifiers were paper for the human health crisis and management, best paper for organization preparedness and response to crisis. The remaining two tracks, namely resources, technology and products for crisis management, and best paper for environment should have less than 85% rating to qualify for the awards. I hope it is clear, ladies and gentlemen. Turbulence, but together we will fly as one and we will continue flying. The announcement of the winners after this show. Enjoy flying, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Northwest Summer State University in Ribatones.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Northwest Summer State University dancers with their interpretation of reggaetones originally from Kansas City, Negros Occidental. Right now, I'm in a new area of the same venue, more beautiful, more big, because I had an erratic internet connection. But I would like to congratulate our technical team because they changed location with grace and posture. I told you a while ago. So if that happens to you, change location with grace and posture. I believe a while ago also, my audio was intermittent. So I have to read again the process of selecting the most outstanding paper. Am I correct? Can you have the thumbs up if my audio a while ago was also intermittent? Can I see the how many panels do we have? We have 5 panels. Okay, so our passengers in this flight agree that my audio was intermittent. So most outstanding paper selection of that in this 2020 International Conference on Poverty Alleviation. By the way, I feel like I'm a Miss Universe with my chair, very good chair here. Okay, our most outstanding paper for 2020 on this conference were guided by the following process. Number 1, the researches were categorized under 4 strands of the conference. These are A, human health crisis and management, B, resources, technology, and products for crisis management, C, organization, preparedness, and response to crisis. Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay. D, environmental crisis and management. The second process was electronic copies of the full papers were submitted online to the official email address of the conference. Third, the full papers were, take note, blindly reviewed by the set of expert evaluators based on the soundness of their content. 4 entries out of the submission were shortlisted and qualified for the most outstanding paper category. The resulting qualifiers were judged as most outstanding paper, best paper for the human health crisis and management, best paper for organization preparedness and response to crisis. Now, the remaining 2 tracks, namely resources, technology, and products for crisis management, and best paper for environmental crisis and management, do not have winners. Why? Because as winners shall have not less than 85% rating to qualify for the awards. So our basis is 85% up to qualify for the awards. I hope that is clear. For the best oral presentation process, official presenters were given a maximum of 10 minutes to present their papers via their submitted pre-recorded presentation. Now, every after presentation, the Q&A portion commenced, and the best paper presenters were chosen from each strand. Now, best oral presenters of their respective tracks should earn at least 85% to qualify for the award. Again, it's 85%, ladies and gentlemen. And the decision of the panel of judges are final and unrevocable. Now we have the poster category. I'm excited with this. Do we have this, Miss Hannah? Okay. For the poster category, the posters were submitted online via the official email of the conference, and they were evaluated and reviewed by the evaluators via the set criteria. So it's very clear of our guidelines in the selection of the best, most outstanding paper, and the best paper, best oral presenters, and our poster category. Can we see a thumbs up right there in your virtual screen, ladies and gentlemen? That's good. I can see Dr. Marilyn Cardoso with the thumbs up, real in flesh, and the thumbs up icon. Thank you so much. And really, Again, I repeat, if you did not hear me a while ago, this flight, this is not a coincidence that this afternoon, our theme for this portion is kind of a bit of flying on an airplane. And just like flying on an airplane, we have a little of turbulence experience up on the air with a nimbus set of clouds. And with that turbulence, thank you so much for understanding and well taken for this experience. And with that saying thank you, I'd like to give you for the words of thanks, the director for Center for Culture and Social Issues to give us words of gratitude for us to fly somehow with this smoothness of our voyage. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Madame Maria Ruby M. Perocho. A virtual applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Miss Elma. Wow, that was a wonderful trainee conference. Thank you all for your kind comments and appreciation sent through cloud. Indeed, it has been a very engaging and amazing conference. In behalf of Summer State University, my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for joining us. And of course, congratulations to Dr. Ricardo E. Roturas, President of the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, Honorable Leopoldo Dominico Pitilla, Leyte Provincial Governor, through the NEDA, the National Economic Development Authority Regional Office number 8. Thank you very much for your endorsement. Your endorsements were instrumental for the attendance of the different regional development council members, state universities and colleges, and the local and national agencies all over the country. I can say that the primary purpose of this conference, which is dissemination of the research findings, were realized because of this. To the City Mayor of Catbalogan, Honorable Dexter Uy, and Governor Michael Tan, for virtually gracing the event, thank you very much. I would like to extend thanks to all partner collaborators in joining us again in this event, represented by the different university presidents, namely President Benjamin L. Picayo, Northwest Summer State University, our co-host, President Erwin Vincent E. Alcala, St. Paul School of Professional Studies, President Victor C. Cañeso Jr., Biliran Province State University, President Edmundo A. Camputo, Eastern Samar State University, President Dominador O. Aguirre Jr., Eastern Visayas State University, President Jude A. Duarte, Leyte Normal University, President Norberto C. Olavides, Palumpon Institute of Technology, President Pres IDG Yepes, Southern Leyte State University, President Cherry I. Ultra, University of Eastern Philippines, President Edgardo E. Tulin, University of Visayas. Thank you so much, Madam and Sir. To our evaluators, thank you for your expertise and accepting our invitation. To all our speakers, you were all amazing. Thank you so much for your valuable discourses. Truly, it heightened the prestige of the conference. Chairperson, Prospero D. Vera, Commissioner on Higher Education Institution. Commissioner, Dr. Aldrin A. Dalilag, Chair-Designate, CHED Commissioner. Dr. Christopher Galloway, University of Auckland, New Zealand. Dr. Anthony Hallog, University of Queensland, Australia. Dr. Phung Ban, University of Vietnam. Many thanks to our plenary speakers from National Poverty Commission, Ms. Reclines de la Serna, and Office of the Mayor of Iloilo, Honorable Mayor Jerry P. Treñas, represented by Ms. Maria Matilde Triñas during the open forum. Thank you. The leadership and wisdom in bringing this event into fusion of success is credited to Dr. Ronald L. O'Reilly, Vice President of Research and Extension Services, and Dr. Marilyn D. Cardoso, our University President. Thank you for your mentorship and trust. Behind the scene, many things happened which the crowd weren't able to see. I truly appreciate all faculty that contribute to this to make this event much lighter to carry. I'd like to mention Engineer Mirador Labrador, Ashley and Raven for helping us in the website. The production team, headed by Director Dr. Redentor Palencia. Your team, happy disposition and expertise infused positivism in the entire conference management. Dr. Sherry Ann Labid and her team, and Mr. Nathaniel Gio Mendoza and his team, thank you very much. In all this, a special thanks to my one and only Miss Hannah Joyce Makawili, my first line of defense in all the rigors of our preparations. My counterpart from our co-host, Dr. Rhys Robert Ortiz of Northwest Summer State University. Thank you very much, sir. It is my prayer that as we end this conference, let our battle to end poverty results to concrete, tangible output. Summer State University is open and very much willing to forge partnership and collaboration along this area. Thank you. See you in our next 5th POVCON 2021. To God be the glory.
The higher the altitude of the airplane goes, the higher the emotion is. Thank you so much, Madam Maria Ruby Parocho. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, until you spread your wings, you have no idea how far you'll fly. To our researchers who have been experiencing, again, a turbulent flight since yesterday, frighten not, for you have already spread your wings and you have felt the wind on your face. Now again, we have come to the most true of the true moment in this 2020 iPOVCON. The awarding of our winners. We start with the Best Poster Award. Are you all ready? Can I see again a virtual virtual applause or thumbs up? Okay, again I see Dr. Can we slide it to the next panel for me to see who are doing the thumbs up if they are ready? Actually, I'm the one who is so nervous to announce Rogel is having the thumbs up. Thank you so much for that positive response. Ladies and gentlemen, on board flight second on 2020, best poster goes to, can we have a drum roll here? Like that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, best poster from Aklan State University, Jayani Loy D. Yekla. Ladies and gentlemen, for winning the best poster for her research study entitled LGU's Health Services as Viewed by the Citizens of Banga Aklan. Can we flash the poster? There you are.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we have, yes,
Ms. Yekla. We have with us,
Congratulations po, sir.
Congratulations po.
yes, and can we have the Vice President for Research and Exchange Services, Dr. Orale, to congratulate our best poster winner. Dr. Orale, go ahead.
Congratulations to the team from Aklan. Truly, your paper inspire us and inspire other local government units to do their share in uplifting the conditions of the social conditions of their communities. Thank you very much for the information. And I hope that all HUCs are going to participate with the ALG in doing similar researches so that we can actually identify the areas of intervention for our development. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again. So ladies and gentlemen, Best Poster Award, Ms. Yekla. We will now proceed to our Best Oral Presenter for the category Organization Preparedness and Response to Crisis Track. Who will it be, ladies and gentlemen? Kinakabahan talaga ako sa pag-announce. Oh, we have a winner. Best Oral Presenter from the Organization Preparedness and Response to Crisis Track. Let's give a virtual applause, resounding as it is and as possible as it could be, ladies and gentlemen. Best Oral Presenter for Organization Preparedness and Response to Crisis Track. A big hand to Mr. Ariel M. Mabansag from Samar State University. I have a flash clap here, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have Mr. Mabansag with us on board? Congratulations to you, Mr. Mabansag, for winning Best Oral Presenter for that category. Dr. Orale?
Here, congratulations, Ariel. You inspired the other faculty researchers in the university. Keep up the good work. Congratulations once again.
Best Oral Presenter for Environmental Crisis and Management Track. I intentionally put silence for you to play the drum roll in your mind, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, Best Oral Presenter for Environmental Crisis and Management Track. A round of applause to Visayas State University with a representative, Moises Niel V. Sirenio, with his research study entitled Decoupling Household Carbon Emissions and Affluence in the Philippines, a quantile regression approach. Sir Moises Sirenio, are you around? Sir Moises, congratulations. Okay, I think he's not on board. Okay, are you ready for the next Best Oral Presenter winner? Are you all ready? Can I hear you say yo-ho? All right. All right, that's great.
Yo-ho.
I think there's something good with this chair because it gives me a sense of comfort, right? All right, so Best Oral Presenter. The technical team is laughing at me. They're quite a bit happy. Best Oral Presenter for Human Health Crisis and Management Track. This is from us, right? From Samar State University. Paborger ka mamaya. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Rhea Jane A. Rosales with her research study, Patient Satisfaction to Nursing Service in Local Government Hospitals in Region 8. Ms. Rosales, please accept the certificate of recognition signed by Dr. Cardoso and Dr. Picayo. Are you with us on board? Dr. Rosales, Ms. Rhea Jane Rosales. Can we hear from you?
Thank you.
You're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. And you know what to prepare for us, Dr. Rhea Jane Rosales. Dr. Orale, take it away.
Congratulations.
Miss Hannah. All right. Now we have to proceed to the best oral presenter for resources, technology, and products track. And I'd like to have a shout out to my team for this track. I was there yesterday, and Mikey is with me here at the venue. Congratulations to these managers in this track, ladies and gentlemen. Best oral presenter for resources, technology, and products tracks. Wow, it's somewhere in the Northwest Summer State University. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to, I know him well, Mr. Irvin L. Rodriguez. Congratulations. There you are. Mr. Irvin Rodriguez, are you with us? Can you check if Mr. Rodriguez is around? All right, all right. Yes. Mr. Rodriguez, can you say a word? I see your picture here. Okay, can you unmute yourself? Irvin Rodriguez. Okay, but anyway, we have with us the Dr. Orale to say thank you for the last time for this part.
Thank you for participating. I've seen your document, I've seen your paper, and it warrants the win. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Orale, and thank you to our winner for the best oral presenters from the different tracks, right? Now we have here, heading towards the most outstanding. First is the best paper award. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen on board. Best paper for human health crisis and management track with the research study entitled, now play the drum roll in your mind, okay? I give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay, that's great, very good. With the research study entitled Health Service Delivery, what do we know? What have we availed of? How satisfied we are? And where should we be headed? I think she knows, and she is from Samar State University, Sherry Ann C. Labid, best paper for human health crisis and management track. Woo! There you are, congratulations. Put that a smile, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we have 2 remaining winners to award. But before we proceed, I'd like to call our co-host, the president of Northwest Samar State University, Dr. Benjamin Picayo, sir. Can you congratulate our winner? Thank you. Take it away, sir.
Thanks, Miss Elma. And first of all, I want to thank Mama Lynn and Samar State University for accepting us as co-host of this second international conference on poverty. And we're honored for being part of this event. And it's a great success for this Samar State University in hosting the second iPOVCON. And to the winners, may nanalo pala sa amin si Dr. Erwin Rodriguez. I personally congratulate him for participating. Hopefully, ma-inspire sana yung mga researcher natin sa Northwest kasi we need that one. We need more researchers. And I guess research is the Waterloo of most issues in the country. And this is the area where issues should focus and give more importance. So to the winners, my heartfelt congratulations. And sana sa third iPOVCON, andyan pa rin kayo to support this international conference of Samar State University. And kudos to Mama Lynn and to the community to the whole community of SSU. Mabuhay po kayo. Congratulations, everyone.
Yes, Dr. Picayo, the honor is ours to have you as our co-host. And congratulations to Mr. Irvin Rodriguez. You have started to feel the breeze on your face, Dr. Picayo, and keep up with your researches. Congratulations. So ladies and gentlemen, best paper for organization preparedness and response to crisis track. Drum roll again in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Best paper for organization preparedness and response to crisis track research study entitled A Qualitative Assessment of COVID-19 Shock to Smallholder Vegetable Growers in Ormoc City. Ladies and gentlemen from Visayas State University, give a hand to Mr. Gideon Niel D. Tan. Mr. Gideon Niel D. Tan, please accept the certificate of recognition. You are worthy to be given the certificate. Are you with us, Mr. Tan? Can we hear a word from you, Mr. Tan?
Hello.
Okay. Yes, go ahead. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty great, actually. Didn't expect this. Anyways, so thank you.
Did you have a turbulent experience yesterday?
Yeah.
You had, everybody had that experience. Thank you so much, Mr. Tan. Dr. Picayo, can you congratulate Mr. Tan for winning best paper?
Okay, so once again, congratulations, Dr. Tan, Mr. Tan, for participating. And your award is very deserving, as I can see here, because the judging is very fair. And the criteria and the guidelines is good. And every entry, every papers were well scrutinized by the panel. And noteworthy to say that every winner is worth of winning the award. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Picayo, for your kind words. Thank you so much. Before we proceed to the grandest, to the highest award for this second iPOVCON 2020, we say thank you to DENR Region 2, right, Hannah? DOST, PSTC Occidental Mindoro, right? DOT Region 9. Is this Paul? Palawan State University? All right. Thank you to Palawan State University. PPDO, thank you to Chad. Thank you to DENR Palawan. Thank you to DHSUD. Am I saying it correctly? Region 8. Thank you to US. See, ladies and gentlemen, they're mimicking me so much too. NAPC, thank you to NHA Region 11. Thank you to David Ozames. Thank you, Chedro Region 8. Thank you, Darfo Region 2. Thank you, OPMS. Thank you, ASU. Thank you. Thank you, PSWTO. Thank you, LGU Covian. Am I correct? Thank you to PRO1. Thank you to PSA Mimaropa. I think I was there in Mimaropa one time. Thank you to Tesda Nueva Vizcaya, and thank you to DOT Region 8. Thank you to ZSC, MST, all are in acronyms, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to SSC. Thank you to Darfur Region 11. Thank you to DHSUD Region 8. I hope I'm correct. Thank you to USM Kabacan Region 12. PDRRMO North Cotabato. Sabi ko na to. Thank you to NEDA 11. Thank you to DAR Region 8. Thank you to DOT Region 4-A. Thank you to BLGF, DOF Region 8. Thank you so much for staying with us for the entire 3 days. It's such an honor having that great audience. Am I lost, or can you still hear me, ladies and gentlemen? It's such a weird thing knowing that.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, how can we forget DepEd? What's this? Region what? Thank you to DILT Region 8. Thank you to DepEd. Thank you to what? Thank you to relax. The word at the back is relax. I think there is something that I thought there's something at the back of the paper to say thank you, and the word is relax. So I was shocked. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah, thank you. Anyway, before I say thank you, you know who's around me now, ladies and gentlemen? I have the VP for research. I have everybody at my side, the executive research. passing me papers to say thank you because we have a lot of people to say thank you to for staying with us for 3 days. Anyway, thank you to Bulacan State University. Thank you to DAR. What's this? FOO2. I cannot really, I'm not really good in acronyms, I'm sorry. But it's DAR. Can I show the paper to you? If it's not unprofessional, no. The penmanship is not. Okay, DAR FOO2 file. What else? There's no relaxed word here. I think I'm relaxed. They are not relaxed. You see, they're cramming right there in front of me. Thank you to DepEd Region 10, Lanao del Norte. They're telling me to relax, ladies and gentlemen, but look at them later on. I show the camera to you. You see the backstage. All right, so you see, we already awarded how many? We had the best oral presenter. We had the poster category. And we had the best paper presenter, and we are heading to announcing the most outstanding paper among the best. Of course, we can say thank you to Jose Rizal Memorial University. You see, I've been talking about a while ago turbulence. Originally, the script was not supposed to be like this. But suddenly, I'd like to share something to you. Suddenly, yesterday, when I was sitting beside a technical person, there was a shift of, I would say, a wisdom to do it this way, because this will certainly happen. If you just around me here right now, you would really see the cram in front of me at my side. Somebody's clicking the mute and the mute. Somebody's clicking. What's your name again? Edmar is with me. Edmar is with me. Can we give a hand to Edmar, please? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Hannah is kneeling right at my right side, kneeling. That's okay, Hannah, you're good. And I really appreciate your effort, Hannah. Are we good now? Are we good? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after that passing through the turbulent clouds, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the most outstanding paper. It gets me excited always to announce the winner. But before that, grateful as we are to those who were with us. Also, we are grateful to DepEd Region 2. Do we have somebody from DepEd Region 2 here? No. Okay. What's that? Yes, Hannah, I know. We'll play the video after. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just to make it a bit, yes. Before the announcement, yes. Where's the paper for that? You got it, Hannah. Where's the name? Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the name of the most outstanding paper, we will be playing the video of the winner for the most outstanding paper. Ladies and gentlemen, the best among the best, the highest and the grandest paper for 2020 iPOVCON. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out to your monitor.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mary Cruz Pleños from Visayas State University. My study is titled Influence of Marine Protected Areas on Fish Catch Productivity Among Selected Fishers in Leyte, Philippines. And just a little bit of introduction about the study. We all know that the seas provide a unique set of goods and services to society, including the provision of food and employment for a significant number of people. And according to Food and Agriculture Organization in year 2019, the Philippines rank among the top fish-producing countries in the world. Actually, this study highlights fish spillover. So according to National Marine Protected Area Center in 2017, fish spillover is the active movement of fish swimming out into adjacent areas by the movement of eggs, larvae, and immature fishes out of protected areas. So how does the problem of the study arises? It all started with the decreasing catch rates, and there have been doubts about the long-term sustainability of certain fisheries, and one of the solutions to address the threats is the development of MPAs. So, MPA is the space in the ocean where human activities are strictly regulated than the surrounding waters. Now, the problem here is how will the fishers benefit when there are certain fishing grounds that are off limits? Fish spillover suggests that the there's a better fish production to fishing grounds nearby MPA sites. That's why the study aims to collect empirical evidences supporting fish spillover, as well as it aims to investigate the effectiveness of an MPA. Generally, the study aims to examine the fish catch productivity of selected fishing grounds in Leyte as influenced by an MPA, and the specific objectives are first, to describe the profile of the fish respondents as well as to characterize their fishing activity. Second is to determine the factors influencing catch rates. And third is to compare the productivity of fishing grounds near and far from MPA. Now, this is the map of the study sites. Colored in yellow are the fishing grounds nearby MPAs. The established MPAs are Cuatro Islas, Canigao, Marcos, VSU, Gabas, and Santa Cruz. While Albuera and Hilongos, the white is colored in yellow-green, were the comparison group since there are no established MPA near these sites. The total number of the fisher respondents that were interviewed is 266, and we are using this formula. And to facilitate the data analysis, descriptive statistics, non-parametric tests, and regression analysis were the different methods that were used to answer the objectives being set in the study. And for the non-parametric test, Mann-Whitney-U test was used, and this is to compare the fishing grounds nearby and distant from MPA with respect to selected fishing variables. While for the regression analysis, there were 3 different models that were formulated to capture the consistency and the robustness of estimates for the influence of MPA on fish catch productivity. For the first model, we have the socioeconomic factors as the explanatory variables. As you can see, the MPA variable is present. For the second model, the fishing variables are the explanatory variables again, with the MPA variable as present. And for the third model, that's combination of fishing variables and socioeconomic characteristics with plus the MPA variable. And the presence of MPA variable across the 3 models allows us to inspect the fish spillover effect. Okay, let's come now to the results of the study and just a short characteristics of the fisher respondents. As we can see in the table, fishers were dominated by male. Majority of the fisher respondents were married across MPA and non-MPA sites. The average age of non-MPA fishers is 47, while for MPA fishers it's 43. For the household size, the average number of members in household across the groups is 5. For number of dependents, it's 3 for both MPA and non-MPA groups. And for the educational attainment, majority attended elementary education among MPA and non-MPA fishers with 7 years of formal schooling. And for the next goal of the study, that is to compare the MPA and non-MPA sites based on the selected fishing variables, here are the results of the analysis. In terms of catch, revenue, cost, and travel hours from shoreline to fishing area, nearby MPA tends to be significantly higher than fishing grounds distant from MPA. And for the fishing days in a week, distant from MPA fishing grounds is significantly higher than nearby from MPA. And for the fishing effort that is measured in hours, as well as the number of companions in fishing, there are no established statistical evidence showing that nearby MPA is significantly higher than distant from MPA. Okay, as I mentioned a while ago, there were 3 different models that were formulated to capture the influence of MPA to fish catch productivity, and for the first model, we have the socioeconomic factors and catch rates plus the MPA variable. And I would like to highlight the fishing grounds nearby MPA that's significant, meaning that nearby MPA has 32% higher catch than distant MPA fishing grounds. And the level of education is also significant to fish catch, and its influence is positive. While for the second model with fishing variables as explanatory variables, fishing effort measured in hours, the travel time to fishing area measured in hours, the use of motorized boats significantly influence the fish catch productivity, and its influence is positive. And as you can see in this table, the fishing grounds nearby MPA is not significant, yet the coefficient is positive, recognizing that it still influences the fish catch positively. And lastly, for the third model, the variables that significantly influences the fish catch is high level of education, time spent on fishing measured in hours, motorized boats, as well as the fishing grounds nearby MPA. Meaning that nearby MPA fishing grounds has 38.9% higher catch than distant from MPA fishing ground. Meaning it influences the fish catch significantly, and its influence is positive. To conclude this, across the three models, nearby MPA fishing grounds displayed a positive influence on fish catch productivity. And this provides an empirical evidence of fish spillover, which appears to play a significant role in increased fisheries in adjacent and protected areas. For inputs to policy, there should be policies and support from LGU and other organizations for the establishment of more MPA sites in order to improve the overall fisheries productivity. And second, management policies to safeguard MPA sites should also be implemented for sustainability. That's all. Thank you for listening.
I couldn't wait to hear from our most outstanding paper winner, Mary Chris F. Pleños from Visayas State University. Ma'am Mary Chris Pleños, are you with us? But before
Yes,
you speak,
ma'am.
please allow us to give you the certificate. Yes, allow us to give you the certificate of recognition. Excited ka na sa boses mo, for winning as the most outstanding paper for your research study entitled Influence of Marine Protected Areas on Fish Catch Productivity Among Selected Fishers in Leyte, Philippines, presented to you during the second International Conference on Poverty Alleviation and Sustainable Development, held on October 21 to 23, 2020, given today, October 23, 2020, signed by the chair of the second iPOVCON 2020, Dr. Marilyn D. Cardoso, and signed by the co-chair, Dr. Benjamin L. Picayo. Can we hear from you, Ms. Pleños?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
I'd like to know basically, how are you feeling right now?
Speechless po.
Yeah, it's very obvious. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And we hope that you will produce. Yes, you're very welcome. And we are expecting and hoping that in the next coming conferences, you will produce best papers, best researchers that will help alleviate poverty in the country.
Nakaka-inspire po talaga. Mag-research pa ng mag-research. Thank you so much, iPOVCON.
All right. But you inspire us so much also, Miss Mary Chris.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We have with us Dr. Cardoso, ma'am.
Yes. Miss Mary Chris Plenius of Visayas State University. Mine, the honor to congratulate you for such an excellent paper. It is very relevant and you deserve to win. I share your joy. Padayon, Miss Mary Chris. And to
Thank you,
all the
ma'am. Thank
winners,
you.
congratulations also. Mabuhay. God bless us all. Congratulations, everyone. And to all the participants who are still on board, thank you so much and congratulations too.
Daghang salamat. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Cardoso. And congratulations once again, a virtual applause to Mary Chris F. Plenius for winning the most outstanding paper of second iPOVCON 2020. Congratulations. Also, we would like to say thank you and acknowledge Professor Noor Haslinda Kulub Rashid, qualifier for the most outstanding paper. Congratulations to you, you qualified. Thank you for joining. We hope to see you next year as well. And thank you for being with us, National Housing Authority, Region 2. Are we good? Yeah. And Region 11. Okay. Thank you so much, Hannah. Yes, we say thank you also to DAR Region 8. Thank you. Who else? All the agencies, private and government offices. Thank you so much. Your support is very overwhelming, and this could never be a smooth flight without you being with us. We say thank you to Testa Cagayan. I think you are here because my microphone is on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And to those presenters, research presenters, your certificates will be forwarded to you, will be sent to you via their official email given to our secretariat. Thank you so much. And to those who did not make it to the main route, remember, it's hard to beat a person who never gives up. Yes, please. Okay, we have Testa Quirino, am I correct? Yes, Testa Quirino, thank you so much. So please don't give up to other researchers, okay? We have in the coming year, poverty conferences scheduled. So always remember this, that good things come to those who book flight. So begin planning for your research today, because again, good things come to those who book flight. Book your flight for the next conference, because again, the most effective way to do it is to do it no other way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very true that sometimes a painful experience can change our ways, and COVID-19 changed the world abruptly. It changed our ways. Being on board flight second iPOVCON 2020 take us all to a new voyage, and the airplane, ladies and gentlemen, has to stay up because it has no time to fall. Always remember that. So researchers, please continue moving forward to alleviate poverty in the country. Your researchers may be the engine, but remember this, you as the pilot is the soul of the airplane. Before I proceed my script, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that we have our attendance link to be sent via Zoom chat box. So please click the link for the attendance. Now, let me go back, ladies and gentlemen. Researchers, you are now the pilots, and you are very lucky because others only dream to see what pilots can see. Now that you are where you are, make sure your identity as a servant pilot in its full upright position. Make other people's lives keep on flying securely. And your all carry-on luggage is stowed in your heart to push you through even when the fuel tank gets limited. Why? Because simply gravity is forever. Zoom meeting passengers. Again, Zoom meeting passengers. Prepare for landing. Please prepare for landing. Bye. opening your camera so we can have a group photo, ladies and gentlemen. We have 5 panels. This is the most exciting. Please open. You see, I have the people around me who is taking a photo in every panel. How can we take that? So it's up to you how you will do the photo. But it's basically it's good to have the walkie, right? This is funny. So ladies and gentlemen, how can we take the photo? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, prepare. Brace yourselves for 5 panel photos. And panel 1, smile.
Look at the camera.
Panel 2, smile. Look at the camera. Don't forget to do that. Panel 3, there you are. Beautiful. Panel 4, amazing. Panel 5, oh, that is so lovely. Thank you so much. Do we still have a walkie? Do you know what walkie is? Just simply distort your beautiful face. 1, 2. Okay, I have to do this. All right. Can you see my scalp now? Can you see my scalp? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, walkie. All right. It always like everybody is silent when the picture is going on. All right. So are we good? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. But we're not done yet. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, madam. Okay. Yes, madam.
Annotate. Use annotate.
Thank you for
Annotate to say thank you.
Informative.
All right, so everybody is now excited to annotate, ladies and gentlemen. So please express your thanksgiving by clicking the view options on the middle part of your computer. You have the word annotate. Am I correct? Am I correct? You have the word annotate, and you can write thank you or draw the heart or thumbs up or something. Yes, the love, 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 and everything. So ladies and gentlemen, while you are doing the annotation, we have just been cleared to land. Local time is 3 o'clock, 3:13 in the afternoon, and the temperature is warm for saying thank you to the second iPOVCON 2020 and hello to the third International Poverty Conference. On behalf of the captains and the officers of the iPOVCON 2020, thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again the near future. Don't let the fear of falling keep you from flying. Be bolder, be bigger, be historic to live and rise above the crisis. Thank you and good afternoon.
Beginnings, we began to shine. From taking little footsteps, we began to climb. Near or far, we have reached across summer. From Katbalogan, Mercedes, Paranas and Basay. From our halls, we walked their aisles. Achievements and awards now we fly. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University. Summer State University. So come on to Summer State University. Beginnings, we began to shine. From taking little footsteps, we began to climb. Near or far, across Samar. From Balogan, Mercedes, Paranas and Pasay. From our halls we walk their aisles. Achievements and awards now in prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University. Summer State University. So come on to Summer State University. From our humble beginnings, we began to shine. From taking little footsteps, we began to climb. Near or far, we have reached across Samar. From Balogan, Mercedes, Paranas and Pasay. From our halls, we walk their aisles. Achievements and awards now in prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University. Summer State University. So come on to Summer State University. From our humble beginnings, we began to shine. From taking little footsteps, we began to climb. Near or far, we have reached across Samar. From Balogan, Mercedes, Paranas and Pasay. From our halls, we walk their aisles. Achievements and awards now in prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University. Summer State University. So come on to Summer State University.